Hey everybody, we're back for another one of Miss Hyde's riveting statistics videos. This one will be remarkably shorter than the last one because I only need to do one problem and then I think you guys get it from there. Really sorry about the length of that last one. That was long. I'm very sorry. To make you feel better, I could possibly angle my camera. Maddie, come here. Come here. Oh, almost. Come here. She doesn't like the light. Come here. It's not gonna hurt you. I've scared her with the docking. Oh, jeez. I just want to show them how pretty you are. You're so pretty. Okay, I said it would be shorter. I am really sorry. I'm almost a minute in already. Haven't done anything. Okay, 64. Escape in Minneapolis 2. Corey, Jameson, and Harper are back in another escape room in Minneapolis. After another round of overcoming all of the mental challenges and earning their freedom from a room called the basement, they sit waiting to get their score and perhaps another ogive. The puzzle master soon congratulates each of them again and says, "Your score is 203 points. The mean score for the..." You can hear Maddie. "The mean score for the basement is 140 with a standard deviation of 35. This makes Corey, Jameson, and Harper stare blankly at the puzzle master and begin to wonder if she is actually a statistics teacher. Oh man, CPM, you're so clever. Okay. Corey, Jameson, and Harper then spot their classmates, Latavia, McKenna, and Kirk, emerging from a different escape room called the apartment, looking victorious. "We just dominated that room," shouts McKenna. The puzzle master arrives and tells them simply, "Your score was 220, and the average for the apartment is 140 with a standard deviation of 45. Kirk begins some kind of spasmodic victory dance, and Latavia asks, "How did you guys do?" Hey, because the six classmates all know each other and have a passion for puzzling, a spirited argument erupts over what team has the most skill. Which team displayed more evidence of their problem-solving prowess today? Explain your thinking. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to write, the one is called the basement and the other is called the apartment. The basement Mrs. Maselli has been to escape rooms before. I have claustrophobia. And even though I'm really good at puzzles and logic and that stuff, I don't think I'll ever be doing that. Okay, so for the basement room, the team that's our original team, Corey, Jameson, and Harper, they got a score of 203. I want to label that X. The mean score for the basement is 140. We're going to make that mu. And the standard deviation of 35. Okay. The apartment, the other team, got a score of 220. And the average for the apartment is 140, so same average with a standard deviation of 45. So that means that teams that do the apartment tend to kind of have more spread out scores. The scores are more consistent with the basement than they are the apartment. So teams apparently either do pretty well or do pretty terrible in the apartment. And in the basement, everyone does more of the same score. Okay, because the six classmates all know each other, which team displayed more evidence of their problem-solving prowess today? Okay, so I think it would be the team that was in the apartment. They both have the same mean, but this team scored 220 and this team scored 203. So we're going to say that team won for the day. B. The puzzle master hears the commotion and says, "One way to compare scores from different rooms is by standardizing. A standardized score, also called a z-score, is the number of standard deviations above or below the mean your team's score is." Okay, so to calculate that, we use the formula x minus the mean all over the standard deviation. And to write that simply in symbols, z-score, we'll use z, x minus mean divided by standard deviation. Okay, determine the z-score for each team. Show your work. Which team wins the day? Okay, so for the basement team, we have their z-score is going to be 203 minus 140 divided by 35. 1.8. And for the apartment, their z-score is going to be 220 minus 140 divided by 45. Which is 1.78. And for z-scores, we usually go to 2 decimal places, and that's because back in the day, the chart that you used to look these things up went to 2 decimal places, so that's just kind of mathematical etiquette. If you want to go to 4 decimal places, it's fine, but you can see the difference between them, which is really what's important. Okay, which team wins the day? Well, this team is actually has a higher z-score. So they actually win. And I'm going to say they actually have a more unusual score. Okay, if another team had a z-score of -2 for the basement, what was their team score? Show your work. Okay, so obviously we're going to just do our algebra backwards here. So their z-score was -2, and we're talking about the basement, so we're going to use the mean and standard deviation for the basement, and we are looking for their team score, which is x minus 140 over 35. Okay, and I'm going to multiply both sides by 35 to clear that out. So I have -70 equals x minus 140, and then add 140, positive 70 equals x. So their score was 70. Okay, D, last one. In this problem, a higher z-score is better. Think of at least 2 situations where a lower z-score would be desirable. Oh man, I completely spoiler alerted this yesterday, or I guess if you guys are doing your videos every day. In the last video, didn't I say golf scores? Where is lower better? How about race times? Because faster is better. What else? Race times really covers a lot of them because there's a lot of different types of races. Oh, crime rates. Definitely want that to be low. That's good when it's low. Okay guys, so I think now that you have this formula, you can easily do the rest of this assignment, and have a great one. Hope to see you soon.